Let's talk the environment. Nigeria has an annual estimate of $17.7 billion climate financial gap. In addressing this issue and other environmental challenges, a climate finance and investment summit is expected to hold in Lagos State. The summit brings together key players from the private and public sector to foster partnership that would accelerate Nigeria's transition to a low-carbon economy. Now, CEO Clean Technology Hub, Ifeoma Malo, joins me live on TVC News at 1 for more on these issues concerning the environment. Good to have you join us, Ms. Malo. $17.7 billion is a significant financial gap in our quest for climate resilience. How much has that deficit impacted our national strategy?
In several ways, Bossade, and thank you for having me. What this means is that a lot of the work that we have to do around climate preparedness, around climate smart agriculture, transitioning to a green energy future will be stunted. It means that this is also going to affect our developmental indices. As the world is moving to a greener future, how then can we accelerate our energy transition if the financing that is needed to do that isn't there or is as large as the gap suggests? That's the big issue that we're trying to discuss at this Climate Finance Summit.
All right. Over time, we've heard that there is need for the public sector to partner the private sector for success. But currently, how much of synergy exists between the private and public sectors in achieving this mission?
I think this is one of the key things that this Climate Finance Summit is going to address. Clean Technology Hub, we've been doing a lot of data analysis and data visualization around where the gaps exist. What we have seen is that with the withdrawal of funds from the US government and the shrinking money that is coming from global philanthropy and even European development organizations, that it's time for Africans and especially Nigerians to begin to look inward about where to get money to reach all their climate goals. Nigeria has an energy transition policy that is targeting 2030 and in the short to medium term and 2050. A lot of the money that we need is not going to come from outside. And so this is why we're having this Climate Investment Summit in Nigeria. And we have a lot of other foreign investors coming from outside the country to begin to talk about how African investors can cover this gap, how African philanthropies can cover the gap, especially to reach the most vulnerable populations that cannot afford money or cannot bring money themselves to pay for their own climate future. But more importantly, what kind of catalytic deals can we see to help with green infrastructure to make sure that we're meeting all those targets that have been laid out?
And for every project, sustainability is key. How do we hope to build on the existing and anticipated commitments for sustained climate interventions in Nigeria?
This is a key question. I think that one of the things to remember is that, Africa has had a self-sustaining industry in the past. And this was when it had, this was our golden era when we had agricultural products like cocoa, which we were exporting. There is an opportunity for Africa to now begin to be a net exporter, especially in light of the global tariffs. Everything plays into each other. We have a global trade war going on. Africa has the ability to cover in that global trade war. And a lot of the green and sustainable agriculture can play a part in our being a net exporter. We have a lot of natural and green minerals that we can actually use to export. And when we do this, what we need is for the investment community to come in and say that we're going to de-risk this sector for you to make it easier for people who are playing in the sector to get more financing, to expand their businesses even beyond Nigeria. And that's where the sustainability comes in, because once we can get people that are able to get patient capital from investors across the continent, it is easier for expansion and more jobs and more, and this also affects our GDP. To happen. So that's where the sustainability of this money and this investments come in.
All right, so we'll look forward to the resolutions that will be emerging from that summit. CEO, Clean Technology Hub, Ifeoma Malu, thank you very much for your time on TVC News at 1.
Thank you, Bossade.